Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to start off with the unboxing of this pen portable cordless nail drill. I received this from Sundara Nails and I wanted to show you guys. This is an actual first impression unboxing, kind of showing you guys what's in it, showing you what it's all about. Um, this actually comes with a rechargeable base, which I love. The base, you just put the e-file in there and it just sits in there and charges. So I think that's really cool. It also goes up to 35,000 RPMs, which is amazing. So it's just as strong as your regular e-file. Also, here are some other fun things about it. The display, the 35,000 RPMs. It's relatively quiet. It's got an awesome battery life. It's easy to use. It's lightweight, it's got a Type-C charging, so if you already have one of those cords, you are in great shape, but it also does come with a cord. All right, so now we're gonna get into what's actually inside this box. Inside this box, it does come with a charger just to charge the pen file itself. If you do not want to use the stand, or if you're on the go and you just want to take a charger, that charger goes specifically for the pen itself. Also, it does come with your standard book. It's got your how to use it. It's got your FAQs. It's got your information about the e-file. It's got all the parts, what they are, what they're used for. And it does come with a drill bit set that I will show you here. So it does come with everything that you really need for an e-file, and the cord is relatively long. This is the cord that attaches to the base, so you have a good bit of length on the cord. It does come with the drill bits like I had mentioned. These are some really good starter bits. The one with the pink top is probably one of my favorite cuticle bits to use, but these are all really good bits. I use all of them, so they are all really good to have for sure. The only one that I would add is the mini mandrel. If you've been around my channel any bit of time, I love me the mini mandrel. And yes, I do use it in this video later. So yeah, it does come with some really good starter bits. So you wouldn't need to buy any if you didn't need any, or if you didn't want to buy any more. So yeah, there's that. The base, I was shocked. That was relatively heavy. Like, your e-file is not going to be tipping over. That thing is like sturdy. And then it does have the plug in the back. It's got your silicone feet, so it's not going to skate around your desk. It's going to stay put where it's at. And it's got a good about a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch in there, like a slot for your e-file to sand. So it works out really well. It's super pretty. I was loving the look of it. This is their new logo, and I just love, love, love how it looks. They have an option for a white one and a black one, and I like have a black and white aesthetic going on with like my nail area, and then like my accessories are like my pops of color. So I usually like to pick black or white accessories for just in general, just because that's just my thing. And then I just like to keep pops of color so that when I'm in a mood, I can change my accessories based on my mood. I don't know. But anyway, the e-file is white, comes in white and black like I had said. When you power it on, mine did come fully charged. I love that. So, once you hit the power button, it'll turn on, and then you have to hold the power button to turn it off. And yeah, I was showing you how it fit in there, and it's like really, really sturdy, how it's like not gonna come out. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into this removal, and I'll show you how it works a little bit later on. So I'm going to be doing a soak off for these nails. I did use peel base underneath of them, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to pop off the color because you have to file the color off anyway. But I banged a couple of my nails pretty hard. I had a really long week, so I figured I would just do a removal instead of just another set, just to check on my left hand because I slammed two of my nails pretty hard. I was messing with the rice and I dropped the bag on my hand, but also I dropped the sugar out of the cabinet and it landed on two of my fingers. It didn't snap the nail or anything like that, but y'all, it hurt for a couple of days. So I had to give it a few days, and then I just wanted to check out the damage that had happened while I was doing that. So with my other mani that I had on before for my birthday, I had hit it on something. So my finger was kind of sore, but it wasn't bruised or anything. So I put these nails on, and yeah. So we're going to remove them, check out my left hand, see how it's looking. Spoiler, it looks fine. Everything's good. It just hurt for a second. All right. So on this right hand, I used the gel peel base, and all I did was break the seal on the edge, and I'm just using isopropyl alcohol that's 70%. It just went flying across my room. But just use some alcohol and just slide the orange wood stick underneath, and it's basically like unsticking it from the nail. The gel's fully cured, so everything's fine. It works really well. That's also the peel base that I use underneath my nail tips instead of having to soak them off. But I had a super busy week, like I had just said. It was really busy. I had a lot going on. So I wanted to put the nails on to stay on. And I knew I was going to have to soak them off. So I figured I would just do this video. All right. So on this hand is an air dry peel base. It is the Delamar's air dry peel base. It peels off just the same. I don't think I waited long enough for it to dry when I was doing this set. But everything peeled off just fine. These are both gel polished nails. Both ways work great. Like, I have no problem with the way either one works. I just wanted to show y'all the removal of them. With an air dry peel base, all I have to do is peel the gel off and we're good to go. So I went ahead and I removed the gel from both hands, and I'm going to just cut them down because what I like to do before doing a soak off is I like to remove as much of the nail tip or gel or anything as possible before soaking, because the more you remove, the less time you have to soak. So also this little white part in front of this tip clipper, it allows you to clip the nails at the same length, but I just wanted to see how short it would make them. And you see they're still relatively long. So what I end up doing is I end up taking that white part out, which it is removable, and cutting them a little bit shorter before going in with my e-file and filing them down. I like to file my nails down as much as I can and get as much off as I'm comfortable with my e-file before going in with the acetone as the final step of soaking off, just because I find that it just takes less time. It takes me about 20 minutes to soak off fully if I do it that way. Otherwise, you're just really stuck for a long time, and sometimes it's too much. So I'm just cutting off that extra bit, which doesn't make them a lot shorter, but it does take that extra length off. I could have probably just shaved it off with my e-file, but like I said, I just like to cut off as much as I can to have like a super short place to start. So, and I love this catcher on the back. I think I got this one off of Amazon, and I linked it in my Amazon storefront if I got it off Amazon. But I'll be sure to try to list everything below. And if I forget something, let me know in the comments and I will get you a link for it. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite bits. This bit is from MelodySusie. It's a coarse bit, but it is not a safety bit. And this is another favorite of mine. I got this one from iGel Beauty, I think. It's a 5-in-1 bit. But they are not safety bits. So for me, I like to use a safety bit. These are my two go-to bits, but this one on the right, this is extra, extra coarse. It's a Pana small barrel bit. So that's just my favorite to use. That's what I bought for removal, and it works so good. Now, when you want to put the tip into, or you want to put the bit into the e-file, you just twist it to the unlock, apply your bit in there, and then just twist it to the lock position, and it's locked in there, ready to go. So I think here is where I show you guys how loud it is. So I'm going to let you guys listen to how loud it gets, and then I will be right back. As y'all can hear, it doesn't get too loud, but yeah. Excuse my not recording those 3 fingers. I got a phone call and then I ignored the phone call, and yeah, it did not record. I forgot to check that part because I thought it was still recording, but I apologize. But now I'm going to show you these couple of nails. Now, I am not an expert with an e-file. I am not an expert nail technician. I'm not an expert person, anything. I put my e-file on a speed that it works for me, that I'm not scared I'm going to hurt myself. Do I still cut myself? Yes, I do. But I have found that I go at speeds that are really comfortable for me. I did not used to go really fast with my e-file, but once I got more comfortable, I did find that going at a faster speed made the removal process a lot easier. So right now, I only really like to go up to maybe 15. I'm only at 10,000 RPMs, like y'all saw. Um, I didn't raise it any higher, and this thing is getting the job done. That's another reason I got an extra coarse bit so that I don't have to go super high. It may take me a little bit longer, but I also know that I like to file a majority of the product off before soaking. So I just like to be really careful when I'm using an e-file. So just keep that in mind. And if you can't go really fast with an e-file, have no worries. Work up to it or just go slow forever. Like you don't have to go at anybody's speed. You just got to go at your own speed. So always be very careful when making any kind of speed adjustments to your e-file. If you're not comfortable or if it scares you or if it's too fast, slow it down. And you don't really want to be going very fast on your natural nail either. And you definitely don't want to use this kind of bit on your natural nail. So when you're filing down bulk product and you're getting really close to the natural nail, just be very careful. That's what I really want to say is just be very careful because I have given myself rings of fire. I have taken off layers of my nail on accident. So yeah, just be very careful when you're using an e-file. Lessons learned. We all have our things that we learn, you know. Still cut myself occasionally, like I said, but I'm just kind of showing y'all how I go through my process of removing my nail extensions because I did hurt those too. But I ended up doing a builder gel overlay and I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. So my next two videos are probably going to be a press-on set and then a couple of nail art videos maybe. So undecided, but as of now, I'm just going to like leave my tips off for like a couple of weeks, let those nails heal and then get back to it because yeah, I like to let them heal, check them out because when I dropped that sugar container on my nails, I wanted to cry. I didn't, but I wanted to. It hurt. Didn't break anything though, so my nails were like really strong, sturdy on there, but it did hurt and there was like some damage from it. I smacked it really hard, but they're okay. Everything looks good, but just to make sure that everything's okay, I just like to apply a builder gel little overlay to my natural nails and just kind of let them hang out for a couple of weeks without anything on them, no extensions, just to kind of give the apex area and the nail itself some kind of a break. But back to what I am doing. I am going back on the other nails, just kind of like debulking them a little bit, getting some of that extension off. And you see how the rounded edge, the safety part, is keeping me from cutting my skin. If you are scared of cutting your skin, get you some safety bits. My favorite bits to use are the ones from Amazon. I like the Pana brand. Sundara does have a couple. I like MelodySusie as well for bits. I know Erica's ATA. Everybody talks about her brand, and I do want to check them out, and I do plan on doing so. So this year, my plan is to get some Erica's ATA bits. But if you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave them below. All right. So we are getting down to the end of the e-filing for now, and I'm going to do the acetone soak off. So I'm going to use these clips. I know there's many different ways to do this. You can soak off in a bowl with rice. You can soak off in a bowl with hot water, with rice, with all these things. Me, I like to get up. Sometimes I'll go for a walk with my kids with these on, go outside with my kids, take my dog for a walk. They're portable. And I'll get my cuticle pusher with the scraper, get my scraper triangle thingy, and some 100% acetone. I did also get the new Model 1's remover. It just came in the mail, and I do plan on trying that out the next time I do soak off or anything like that. So yeah, it is better for your nails. But before I soak off in acetone, I like to put cuticle oil on my skin that's like surrounding my nail, like the cuticle area, the side walls, the free edge. I like to put cuticle oil everywhere pretty much because that acetone is gonna dry the crap out of my skin. And my skin just does not like to be that dry, especially in the winter. So I put cuticle oil all around my nails. Doesn't matter which one. You could just do coconut oil. You could do jojoba oil. Is that what it's called? Whatever oil you really have. You can even use cooking oil if you want. Anything to like give your nails a little bit of oil before you do this, just because it will super suck all the moisture out. Now all I'm doing is I'm wetting my cotton ball in the acetone. Sometimes for the smaller nails, I break some of them in half just because the cotton balls sometimes can be a little larger. They're just like random, and my pinky is very small. So I just put the acetone on the cotton ball, fit the cotton ball and the nail, whatever, inside this little clip thingy. And yeah, then it's on. And I let it wait for 15 minutes before I check. And then at about 15 minutes or so, I will scrape off some of the product and then I will see where we're at. And sometimes I file a little bit. I'll use my e-file and a mandrel bit. And I will file some of the product off and then I will put these little caps back on for about another 5 minutes or so. And then usually they're pretty done by then because underneath the extensions, I did put a layer of rubber base. Y'all know I love my rubber base and my builder gel underneath my tips. I like to keep those on my natural nail because it just helps the health of my natural nail. I'm pretty sure that's what kept my nail from completely splitting and doing a ton of damage when I dropped the sugar and the rice on my hands. So I like to do that because I don't like to have any kind of problem. Because I know one time I had a nail come off, but the entire nail like stayed intact. Everything was fine. Just the rubber base pulled off with the nail and my nail was completely fine. So the worst that happened was I lost a little bit of like I had a couple of scratches on my nail. Like it looked like like I ripped my nail off because obviously it ripped off. Kids, I think it got caught in one of their shirts when I was helping them get dressed. So it was a whole ordeal. But yeah, back to what we were doing. I am just scraping off the gel. This right here is the solid nail glue gel that I use to adhere the nail tip and the rest of the nail tip. That's what this is. It's fully cured, so it's okay to grab it with your hand if you so choose to do so. We want to try not to scrape hard. We want to try not to rip things off our nail, even at this point. We want to try to just let the tools and the acetone do its job. We scraped off a little bit. Whatever's left is left. Put it back on, and then proceed to do that with the rest of them. That's really all I do. I don't really do anything super extensive. I don't do anything really crazy. I try to not have to ever soak off, but as you can see, the skin around my nails is not super duper dry. I mean, it's obviously a little bit on the white side because there was literal acetone on them and it's super sucking any kind of moisture out of anywhere that it touches on your hands. And it just kind of like takes the moisture out. But you see with the cuticle oil, it kind of helps so it's not as bad. But I'm just going to go one by one down the hand, and each nail I'm going to just scrape a little bit off, scrape what I can, let it sit on let them go back on the nail for a little bit, and then by the time that I get to the pinky, I put everything back on, I let it sit for another few minutes, and then I come back and I use my e-file, kind of file everything off. And then after I got done the e-filing, I noticed that there was like a little bit of rubber base still left on just like a couple of the nails. I think 4 of them. Yeah, I think it's 4 of them. And I just let it kind of sit for like another 5 minutes or so. And then that's pretty much it. Once it's all off, I'll wash my hands, let them sit for a little while, probably a few hours. And then I do either a rubber base or a builder gel overlay or put some extensions on or both. I usually like to try to leave some time between sets so that my nails can have like a break. I mean, you don't have to. Nails don't really need to breathe. Like I think that myth has been debunked by like a lot of people that your nails don't really need to breathe per se, but me, it's just a personal thing. Yeah, I've just got a really busy time in my life right now. So having long nails, yes, I love it. I enjoy it. I think it's fantastic. But sometimes having no nails, having super tiny nubs is okay for me. I'm okay with that. Like sometimes I have a lot going on and I just need them to be really, really short. All right. So We are ready. We scraped off the rest. Now it is time to grab the E-file again, the cordless one, which I love, y'all. I have another one from MelodySusie, and it's really, really light. But my only downside with the other one is that it does not twist lock right here. You have to push it in and then pull out the tip or the bit from the tip. And for me, I am not a fan of doing that. I don't like that. I like the E-file, I like everything else about it, but I just don't like that. I don't know, it's the little things for me. And that twist lock lets me know that that bit is secured in there. All right. So I put my mini mandrel in there. I'm using a 150 grit bit. I use between a 150, usually like a 150 or a 180 when I'm doing this part. But you want to be really careful because now we're getting down to natural nail surface area. Yeah, natural nail surface area. So you want to be really careful because now is when you can do some damage. All right, we're going to ignore my thumb and we're also going to ignore my index finger because those are the two that I smashed and they look damaged because they are. It hurt. What can I say? But we are doing a better job this year of taking care of our nails. And yeah, when I said that, I think I jinxed myself because the rice bag, my rice bag is 10 pounds. I get it from Costco because I eat a lot of rice. And the bag was just opened. So it was heavy and it landed on my thumb and it landed on my index finger. So we're going to ignore those two because they do hurt, but they're fine. It's just a bruise. One of them they have like a little like splinter bruise on them. And then, when I smashed my thumb, it like took like the top part of my nail, like it smashed it and kind of broke it up there, but it didn't like fall off or anything. It just smashed it and I didn't notice it until like I was getting to like the point of where I was taking everything off and I was like, okay. So everything is okay. Everything is fine. Nothing hurts. And we're giving him a break. So we're going to E-file off. I'm only at like 3,000 or 4,000 RPMs and it does the job. And I have it on forward because I'm using my right hand. I like to use forward with my right hand and reverse with my left hand just because I find that that works for me. You want to go at a speed that is comfortable for you. I would say not to go above 4,000 RPMs though, because then you could start to get to be hurting yourself and we don't want to do that. All right. So once you have filed to your liking, you can do what I did. I just was like, okay, I'm going to skip through some of this filing and I don't want to file anymore. I'm just going to throw my little clips back on my nails just to soak off that little bit because I have some rubber base on there. And you don't have to take every single little tiny bit of gel off, but I see some bits of rubber base that I wanted to take off, especially since I had damaged that nail and my thumb. I wanted to just have everything off, complete fresh start. So yeah, I'm just going to put the clips back on, let it sit for like another 5 or 10 minutes or so. And then I am going to do my builder gel fill. So soaking off isn't really like the end of the world. I prefer to not use the bowl. I don't like the bowl. I am very klutzy. I spill the bowl. So I just like to use the clips. And plus I can be free. I can like go for a walk, like I said. I can get up. I can do things. I can change a diaper because yes, I can do that one-handed. But I can do lots of things mobile with these. I prefer to use the soak off with the clips. That's just my preferred method. But now I'm just buffing the nails, giving them a little bit of, I like to buff the oil into the nails. And I feel like that helps like moisturize them just a little bit after the soak off. And then I'm just going to let them sit for a little bit. I do apply oil at the end, let that sit for about 10 minutes. Then I wash my hands with Dawn dish soap, scrub them really good. And then I decided that I was going to go ahead and go in with a builder gel overlay on my tiny little niblets. The nails look fine. My little bruises, they're fine. I cut my cuticle on the middle finger. Oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. So all in all, it didn't take too long. I think it took maybe about 35-40 minutes to do the entire thing, which is not bad at all. Plus I did an unboxing. It wasn't too bad. The nails are fine. I'm just going to let them heal. But yeah, that's really all I do for my soak off. I try not to soak off too often just because It does take a lot, but I just like to use peel base, so it's like a lot faster. But here is my little builder gel setup. I did take off both hands, my little builder gel setup, and my fresh little builder gel nubbies. Thanks for hanging around. I hope to see y'all in the next video.